Have you ever wondered why some people seem to level up in life so quickly? Like they've got cheat codes or an extra controller that the rest of us don't have? It's almost like they've hacked reality, achieving goals, learning new skills, and living lives that feel larger than life. But here's the truth. Real life isn't a game, and there are no cheat codes. What there is, though, is a pattern, a rhythm, a system buried beneath all the noise. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know how to level up in real life, everything changes. It starts with a feeling, a whisper in the back of your mind that says, this can't be it. There's more than this. Maybe it hits you when you're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. Maybe it creeps in during another long, unfulfilling workday. Maybe it shows up when you compare where you are with where you thought you'd be by now. Wherever it comes from, that feeling isn't something to run from. It's your first clue. It's your mind tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, it's time. Leveling up in real life doesn't begin with big moves. It begins in the smallest, quietest corners of your day. It begins when you make the decision to stop being passive in your own story. For too long, many of us play side characters in our own lives, reacting instead of creating, avoiding instead of facing, scrolling instead of building. But the moment you decide to become the main character, everything starts to shift. The first level isn't glamorous. It's not sexy. It's not social media highlight reel material. The first level is messy. It's uncomfortable. It's you versus your own inertia. It's the part of the story where you show up every day, even when no one's watching. You start by doing the things you've been avoiding. You clean your space. You open that unread email. You finally make that difficult phone call. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. One move forward, even if it's small. And as you do these small things, something wild begins to happen. You start to build trust with yourself. Because that's the real currency in this game. Self-trust. If you say you're going to do something, and then you do it, your confidence starts to rise. Not the fake kind you post online, but the real kind that grows in silence. That's your first power-up. From there, the next stage appears. Learning. Not the kind they forced on you in school, but the kind you choose. You begin to realize that every single thing you don't know is a doorway to something better. And when you start walking through those doorways, your world expands. You pick up books you used to ignore. You watch videos, listen to podcasts, follow people who've been where you want to go. You start learning not to impress anyone, but because you've tasted what it's like to grow and you want more. Leveling up means you become obsessed with your own evolution. You begin to understand that who you are today does not define who you'll be tomorrow, and that's when the next challenge appears. Discomfort. Growth always invites it in. It comes in the form of early mornings, hard workouts, awkward conversations, failed attempts, and unfamiliar territories. But you stop fearing discomfort. You start welcoming it because you understand the secret. Discomfort is the only bridge to transformation. In the game of real life, resistance is a boss you'll face again and again. It shows up every time you're about to make a breakthrough. It tries to convince you to stop, to settle, to go back to the familiar. It's sneaky. It sounds like logic, but it's fear in disguise. And every time you push through it, you get stronger. Your willpower levels up. Your discipline becomes sharper. You realize that motivation comes and goes, but discipline is the sword you sharpen daily. Along the way, something else happens. You stop blaming. You stop pointing fingers at your past, your parents, your circumstances, your luck. You stop giving your power away, and instead you take full ownership of your life. This is one of the most painful, powerful upgrades available, because when you realize no one is coming to save you, you also realize that no one can stop you. You begin to design your life like an architect. You get intentional about how you spend your time. You protect your energy like it's treasure, because it is. You say no to things that don't align with who you're becoming. You become ruthless about your inputs. What you watch, what you listen to, who you let into your circle. You start feeding your mind with things that nourish you instead of numbing you. And in doing so, you build a foundation that can't be shaken by every little storm. But the real upgrade comes when you start helping others level up too. Because when you become a force of growth, that energy radiates outward. You start inspiring people without even trying, just by being fully alive. And you realize that success isn't just about what you achieve, but about who you become in the process, about how many people you lift as you rise. Then something strange happens. You stop chasing. You stop comparing. You realize that leveling up isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. You begin to feel a quiet sense of pride, not the loud, arrogant kind, but the kind that comes from knowing you've earned every step. And that's a kind of peace money can't buy. But the game never really ends. There's always another level, another skill to learn, another fear to conquer, another version of yourself waiting on the other side of a decision you haven't made yet. And that's the beauty of it. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. You're supposed to keep growing, keep evolving, keep unlocking parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. There will be setbacks. You'll fail. You'll get tired. You'll lose people. You'll doubt yourself. But if you keep going, if you stay in the game long enough, you'll look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. Not because you changed, but because you became. So if you're wondering how to level up in real life, start here. Decide. Decide that you're done playing small. Decide that you're worthy of a bigger story. Decide that your past does not define your future. Then take the first step and then the next. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep growing. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look around and see that you've built something amazing. Not because it was easy, but because you refused to quit. You'll stand on a mountain made of all the times you chose progress over perfection. All the times you got up after being knocked down, all the moments you could have given in, but didn't. And in that moment, you'll understand. The only real difference between the people who level up in life and the ones who don't is that they kept playing.